Even at the best of times, it is not easy to communicate. Quite often, there are misunderstandings and miscommunications, even with people you know very well. So when it comes to communicating with people you do not know, people coming especially from different cultures, like different countries, the scope for miscommunication is greatly increased. So here, following the blog, I'm going to give you 6 advice to help you communicate more efficiently in unfamiliar situations. So my first advice is to be yourself, because in communication, authenticity is key. If you try to pretend to be something or somebody you are not, people will notice. You will come across as fake, and there will be that barrier to communication, because the relationship, the trust to make this communication efficient will not be there, because you will be fake to other people. So be yourself. My second advice is, if you don't really know what to do, and especially when you don't really have to communicate right now, just observe and take every opportunity to observe how people communicate, their body language, how they say things, also what they say, the kind of expressions, how formal they are, how direct they are, that kind of thing. So just observe, be aware, take that on board to learn, and then use that to communicate better. The third advice is to adapt your style. So it might seem a bit counterintuitive given my first advice about being yourself. But even when you are yourself, you already adapt your style. You don't speak in the same way to different people. For instance, when I speak from usually English native speakers, I tend to be a bit less formal, even if I don't know these people, than I am when I talk with people I do not know, and especially people either higher up in the hierarchy or significantly older than I am, when these are French people like me. I will tend to use the formal form of addressing people and more likely to use a title. And you already do that. So it's just a matter of doing it a bit more systematically. And the more flexibility you can learn to integrate in your communication style, the more efficient that communication will be to whomever you will be communicating with. My first advice is about asking questions. Okay? Don't let any misunderstanding open. If you don't understand something, if you see that you have upset the persons you're communicating with, or you don't have the reaction you expect, just pause. Ask what is happening. What is the reasons that they react the way they react? And have an open discussion to clear out the misunderstanding and the miscommunication. And you will learn from that, and also explain your point of view, that other people can learn where you come from, where your style of communication comes from. The fifth advice is about, you're going to make mistakes. We all do. We all make mistakes when we communicate. So don't beat yourself up for it. Accept them. Again, clarify what happened, why it was a mistake, and have this open discussion and learn from it, that you're not going to make that same mistake again in the same situation. But you will make mistakes. So just accept it. Maybe sometimes you can laugh about it with the other people you're interacting with. Sometimes it's a little bit more serious. So back to the previous advice that, okay, ask question, clarify what that mistake was about. And finally, the sixth advice is about interpreting communication, putting a meaning. We want to put a meaning on everything. But the meaning we put is our own meaning, is our way of seeing the world. When it comes to communication, especially, communication, yes, it's about passing meaning, but the meaning between the two persons communicating might be completely different. So if you interpret things that are done, are said from your point of view, more often than not, that meaning will be wrong, because the person saying, doing it, had a completely different meaning on things. So don't interpret without knowing, without asking, and never assume that the people you are communicating with have the same view of the world as you have, because that is not true. So apply this advice and good luck. And I hope that you have a more efficient communication with people when you are in an unknown, unfamiliar situation.